Hey everybody, back for a Friday of week 3 update. But yes, Friday of week 3. It's been an interesting week. As I've spoken about previously, it is a very important week for me because now I am back on the clock, if you will, as far as minimum production requirements. So I'm actually at a point where, as much as I might want to just throw the papers up in the air and say, enough of this for the day or for the rest of the week, I have very specific sales numbers that I need to hit to maximize my bonus, number one, and number two, to keep my franchise. So it started off Monday with that early start, which was really great. I really recommend committing to an early meeting or an early appointment. It just gets you up and moving, and you get so much more accomplished with an early start. I need to practice what I preach on that one, perhaps. And I've had a solid week where in previous weeks, I've been doing about 3 hours a day of productive work on average. I'm now up to close to 5 hours of productive work a day on average. And that's giving me a really good feeling. I see the progression and the progress I've made these past few weeks. But like I've mentioned in previous videos, it's not to say that it doesn't come with its challenges. Wednesday was just very rough for me. I had an early appointment, not a really early appointment, but a 9:30 a.m. Appointment that got things off to a good start. But I really made some mistakes that I'll go over here. So Wednesday morning, knew I had this meeting coming up, put a limited window on my morning routine. And unfortunately, instead of being focused on getting the morning routine completed, I picked up my smartphone and I started scrolling social media, or I don't know, maybe even a news site or two. And it really threw me off of my game. All of a sudden, 5 minutes turned to 10 and 10 turned to 15, and I didn't have enough time to do my morning routine. So I did go to my morning meeting, which was very good. But then after that, I really just lost focus. My wife was actually out to lunch with some friends and doing some shopping with them after. So I had the house to myself in my home office, and it was probably the longest amount of time my wife and I have spent apart since we lost Aurora. And I really just fell apart. I couldn't focus. I couldn't do any work. I was just scrolling and wasting time. And I think it's something I want to address regarding social media in general. And I think a lot of us know that when you get a like or a comment or any type of notification through your social media, it gives you a dopamine hit. It's the same as smoking weed or doing a line of coke. You get this neurotransmitter that goes to your brain that gives you a high. And again, with a Facebook like, it's a small in comparison to doing hard drugs, but you still get that dopamine hit. And that's why we fall into what's called a loop trigger, a habit loop trigger. So that's why I said before, I made such a mistake by starting my day off by doing that, because it just got me into that habit loop that's so hard to break out of. And something I was doing and working on even before we lost Aurora was staying off my phone throughout the day for anything other than just making an actual phone call, because I'm in sales after all. But So that's what I attribute the distractions to. I tried to change my scenery a little bit. I left my home office, went to my real office. And the habit loop was so strong, I spent more time just scrolling through. I've never been a big social media person. I don't like to put my personal life out there. I just feel, even doing this is very hard. I just feel like a self-promoter, or I don't even know the word I'm going for sometimes. But I've always been very private when it comes to social media. And it's such a blessing when something like this happens, because Facebook, for all the things you can say about Facebook, it did so much good for my wife and I, because we were able to put out one message that many of our extended family and all our friends and members of our community all saw at the same time. We didn't have to work the phones and keep repeating the bad news over and over again. And it also gave us the ability to read such wonderful comments and to just be able to connect with all these people who are in our lives and maybe not even in our lives. Maybe they were from our past, or maybe they were people who we didn't even know yet, who were just reaching out and wishing us well and letting us know that they barely know us, but they're there for us. And it was such a great thing. But in those weeks of checking my phone, oh, I got another like, I got another comment, what it did was it really reestablished that addiction to a smartphone that we all hear so much about. So that's my word of advice for today. It's that social media is very powerful and can be used for such good, especially in a situation like this. But you really, really have to realize you're playing with fire for when you do go back to work and back to being your productive self. You don't want to bring those bad habits of the immediate aftermath with you. So Wednesday was a loss for me because I fell into this habit loop. But even so, I still got 3 hours of productive work done. So in the past, on days like that where I just couldn't get focused, I'd get maybe 1 hour done in the past few weeks. Now, as you see with my progression, even on a bad day, I'm getting 3 hours done. So I just want to give some quick hits, some quick tips on what you can do real quick. First and foremost, you got to set your schedule the night before. If you wake up without a plan, it's very, very easy to get distracted. You have so much going on. You have personal responsibilities and just things you aren't even thinking of that will come up. So you have to have that plan the night before. Give yourself a break. Give yourself breaks during the day, but have that plan. You have to do your morning routine. Don't skip your morning routine. I talk about that almost every video. I swear by it. It's helping me such a great deal through all this. Having that routine, having those rituals that I do every morning. Avoid the social media, avoid the news sites, at least during the news day, because you are going to be distracted. And especially with the social media right now, you're going to have a lot of people, whether you're a big social media user or not, you're going to have people who are reaching out to you on social media. And yes, they just want to wish you well. They just want to help you. But if you're in work mode, that nice message isn't what you need to see at that moment. You want to save those for after you're done working. And just forgive yourself and give yourself some grace, because it's as much as a logical progression that it is for me over the course of 3 weeks now, where I'm working an average of 5 hours a day. You're going to have those setbacks like I did on Wednesday, where even though I somehow logged 3 hours of productive work, it did not feel good to watch an entire day go by that I had planned, that I had goals for, and to just sit and watch that evaporate in front of my eyes. So that's where I'm at for the end of week 3. Week 4, it continues. So I will be back with more updates. Again, I appreciate you all so very much. Please tell me about some of your challenges or some of the questions you have. If you haven't yet gone back to work, please leave them below in the comments. I just want to see if we can create a community here where we can help people going through this, or if you're watching for support, that you can help your loved ones with advice through this very dark time. Thank you.